Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we're going to be talking about the Night Thrasher. The most important things to his kit that has changed, well, effectively is that now he can purify a debuff when he knocks down the opponent. And other than that, things just got kind of made slightly better. You still want him to have at max sig if you will get the best out of him. And his playstyle is exactly the same. And his debuffs last a bit longer, the precision is more potent. And that's kind of about it. So, they made him slightly better version of himself. So let's see how he does now. So I'm going to be using 6-star rank 3 for these videos, as I have done with the past few previous ones. But that's okay, because we're going to, be comparing him to a few champions here and there. And the first thing is I will fully synergize him up. Because Night Thrasher is a champion that I used to love. I actually used Night Thrasher a ton for AQ and a whole bunch of stuff. And that is because overall in his kit he does have quite a few things. He does have Incinerate immunity, which was needed back in the day for some of the AQ lanes. He does have, evade prevention on his skateboard attacks. He gains true accuracy, which is quite useful. He does have a little bit of access to power gain for kind of like a special spam or access to special attacks early. He has access to Taunt, so he could do all or nothing. He has access to several debuffs, including Incinerate, Shock, and Disorient. And having dots in his kit was useful too. And the entire idea is that you need to activate a couple of level 1s to get a few debuffs going. Then you want to be spamming your heavy and get the Taunt, and then you need to get 10 Furies and get your level 2. So his rotation is kind of like 2-3 level 1s and then a level 2 with weaved in heavy attacks. And once that precision is active, we can see that he crits like crazy now. His fantastic spree fight do help him with damage as well. There we go. So synergized 6-star rank 3 does this fight in 1 minute and 11 seconds. Next up, I chose to bring him in against Star-Lord a bit. And the reason why I wanted to bring him in is to kind of like showcase the level 3 as well. I'm not going to show the entire fight because, I'll be honest, it doesn't really do it too fast. But if we get a bit further to the point, now that I have ramped him up and we can see we have 9 Furies, or I almost make a mistake there. We have the 10 Furies, that is his max ramp up, and again, that is why his signature build is important. He only does good damage while he has the 10 Furies active, and in order to, and the Furies get more potent with your sig levels. So here we go, because he does have like a fairly cool special 3 as well. Special 3 inflicts debilitate passive, unfortunately, which you cannot refresh, but that extends your debuff durations, and that makes it easier to kind of maintain all of your debuffs, as well as it allows you to parry infinitely in, Labyrinth of Legends. So this is him kind of fully opened up. We got a ton of debuffs going for us, and we have like all the utility he will have, and this is like his max damage as a 6-star rank 3. And I'm gonna go for my level 2. And at this point, we're going to see that we're going to be critting a lot. And then, now, his damage is quite good. For a 6-star rank 3, that is not bad damage at all. The kind of problem with Night Thrasher pretty much always been twofold. Number one problem is, and if he gets knocked down, you lose all your Furies, which kind of sucks. But number one problem is his ramp up. He does have quite a lengthy ramp up, which I'll demonstrate a bit later on. But before all that, let's establish his base damage now without synergies. And now you can definitely see that, the ramp up process again. So you want to build up to your first few level 1s, involving as many dexes and parries, because that kind of speeds up the process. So if you finish a combo with medium and then throw your level 1, you get Incinerate. If you finish a combo with heavy attack and then throw your level 1, you get Shock. And if you finish a combo with light, then you get Disorient on your level 1. So that is how he kind of chooses and controls which debuffs he applies. And there we go, I got my taunt, so I'm going to start getting the Furies up. I am going to go for level 1, even though maybe I shouldn't have. I think, nah, it's fine. But, you know, at this point, we're starting to build the Furies. We have the debuffs, except that we do not have the taunt. We need to reapply the taunt. He doesn't refresh that one himself. And now, basically, I need to drop my level 2, and I'll be doing solid amount of damage. Because that precision has gotten significantly more potent than it used to be. And that's Night Thrasher effectively. This is, you know, how you use Night Thrasher. Now that I do have the precision, I can be as aggressive as I want to be, try and build up to my next level 2, and then, you know, get the precision again and do as much damage as possible. There's no real need to spam heavy attacks now once I'm fully ramped, and taunt is not necessarily absolutely mandatory. I just need to make sure my debuffs don't fall off. I refresh them on opponent's knockdown, which is also quite significant. But here we go. So here he's at 3 bars power. But one of the things you're going to notice, even at 10 Furies and full ramp up, Shock and Incinerate combined deal 252 damage, which just quite frankly is quite awful. But fine. It's mainly about having them. But there we go. 2 minutes. 2 minutes was the best time I got with Night Thrasher, and I did try quite a few times. And it is a fairly finicky fight. So 2 minutes. And Vision Arcus is definitely not a champion that we know by his great damage output. But Vision Arcus actually, we know is a mid damage dealer champion. So if Night Thrasher is going to be good, he would need to be noticeably faster than Vision Arcus, in my opinion, because he's not the easiest champion to use and to play, and there has to be some upside to him. And the end result will be that Vision Arcus does it slightly faster. So even after the tune-up, and now just to illustrate the point again, I'm going to be picking Karnak. Now Karnak is a champion, I'd say, in nature somewhat similar to Night Thrasher, where you do need to ramp him up. He effectively is ramping up through his level 2s and Furies and pausing them. Also keep in mind that Karnak is a champion that gets significantly more powerful when you're running recall masteries, because he regens from them and has quite a lot of damage benefit. But again, I don't think anybody is going to accuse Karnak of being high value, high damage skill champion, right? And I think this comparison here is going to be kind of very eye-opening, in a sense. At least it was to me. I thought Karnak would be, you know, a very easy to pass type of measuring bar. And there we go. So this is Karnak now. He's also a skill champion that crits quite a bit. Now he does have Furies, passives, not buffs, but still, he, you know, inflicts some debuffs on the opponent. Not as many as Night Thrasher. But let's just see how this works out. And again, you benefit highly from like knocking the opponents down with Karnak. And I'm, by the way, not the best Karnak player in the world. I don't even know if I'm exactly doing the rotation right. I know that I should probably be trying to hit the block more, because Karnak can freely hit opponent's block and, gain power, so that's super useful. But nonetheless, so at this point, we can see that I am going to get my 4th Fury, 42k crit there, and combos are doing 11 and 7k and 10k, and 1 minute 45. Karnak's faster than buffed Night Thrasher. That's not great. And another issue with Night Thrasher in general will be perfectly showcased here. You see, I figured I'm going to try some matchups where Night Thrasher should be good at and has everything going for him. Effectively, matchup like Spider-Woman, where I can stop evade with my skateboard attacks, which are mediums and heavies. And I have Disorient, and that, admittedly, I did make a mistake again. But fair enough, I'm thinking I can salvage this. I'm about to ramp myself up. And one thing that does work as a fairly big weakness, in a situation like this, we can definitely see the health bar of Jessica Drew Spider-Woman moving up a lot. It's because those debuffs are not enough to cut down opponent's healing, because you typically have 2 to 4 debuffs on opponent, I would say. And because you have so many different debuffs and all of them are unique, willpower healing is like a legitimate issue at times for Night Thrasher when you use him against, champions who do have willpower. So that's not ideal, because it amounts to a fairly large amount of healing there. We have 800 healing, and then I made a mistake. And there's going to be kind of like a spoiler warning. I genuinely kind of struggled getting a good run in with Night Thrasher against Spider-Woman. Now again, in paper, my skateboard attacks shut down their weight, I gain power quicker, and there's absolutely nothing stopping me. I can stop their weight. I do have debuff shrugging capabilities, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to test this match out. So the problem is I can't shrug anywhere enough debuffs off me, because if I shrug off one debuff every time I knock her down, and here obviously I forgot that I can't dex whilst I have the debuffs on, and it sucks, and I'm going to do it again. And I know that you guys are probably not used to seeing this type of footage, but trust me when I tell you this, most content creators go through this with like just about any champion before they kind of present a great good fight for you at the end. Why I'm showing these kind of like blooper fights is the exact reason what I think is Night Thrasher's biggest issue. You need to be very precise, very coordinated, and play the champion borderline perfectly for you not to, get smacked in the face, screw up badly, or, messing up your ramp up. Because, like, you get your 10 Furies, at which point you think you're kind of done with the ramp up, you get knocked down, and your damage is gone. Or, like, if your debuffs do fall off because AI is not cooperating, again, your kind of damage is gone because the precision is going to be virtually non-existent. And because of all of that, and also the intricate rotation of having to throw multiple level 1s for you to be able to ramp up, and then keep a track of which debuffs you have, which combo enders you need before you're level 1. Quite a lot of work. And again, here Spider-Woman just failed my parry because of that her debuff, because she reduces your ability accuracy by 30%. And I lost all my ramp up because she got to knock me down because she failed my parry. And I guess all of this footage is kind of meant to show you that he's not easy to use at all, especially comparatively speaking to some other skill champions like Okoye. With Okoye, you dex once and you're good, right? And I genuinely did this for like 9 minutes before I got a good run in. So now we're starting. I think this should be the real run where I'm doing the best I can. And here, I have gotten a bit more used to, or reminded myself how to use Night Thrasher. And I am, ramping him up. We're gonna get at least 2 debuffs, should be fine. Everything's okay. I am, using my mediums and heavies here after 2 debuffs. And I'm dexing the level 1, which is actually something that I learned right now. Because I never tried to dex her level 1s before. Anyways, here might have been my one mistake. Maybe, I probably should have went for my level 2 quicker, but I chose to fully put the debuffs on. But we can see that I have been fighting for quite a while and her health bar is still high up, and that is due to willpower healing, right? And now I am gonna go for my big payoff precision, and I don't get it because she failed that as well, which sucks. And now, even though I do have the 10 Furies, I do not get my crits because she has failed my precision. And I still need to play very disciplined until I build back up to my level 2. But I needed to get rid of... I needed the knockdown and I needed to get rid of the debuff there as well. But that's fine. Anyways, I need to build back up to level 2. And again, I'm not saying I'm playing Night Thrasher ideally at all. But that's kind of the point. It definitely takes quite a bit of practice getting used to and getting very comfortable with the champion to play him perfect. And I finally do the fight. And it's 1 minute 47. And I'm sure you can do it faster. I'm sure you can do it in like a minute or something like that. But my final point here is, So I spent like 10 minutes trying to get a run where I finish Jacobkanda properly without losing too much health or messing up completely. And this was my very, very first fight against Spider-Woman with Hitman. Okay? So this is, I just went in, and this was my very first fight against her with Hitmonkey. And, the results kind of speak for itself, I suppose. So I enter the primal stage, all good. And only damage I take here in the end is, in the block, because I kind of regen the last of it. And it took 30 seconds. And it took 30 seconds. So at that point, I thought I have everything I need for this video. Because again, here's the thing. I like the champion. I wish they made him better. But again, objectively speaking, in a fight like this, his debuff shrug, just about at almost no point I was left without debuffs. And yes, she does have access to severe debuffs as well, but I always had plenty of regular debuffs that I just couldn't keep up shrugging off. That's one thing. So the debuff shrug is far from very potent, I'd say. It's one of the weaker debuff shrug off abilities that I have seen in the game. And when it comes to evade prevention is decent, but it forces you to alter your playstyle, because again, you can only use your mediums and heavies basically, and specials. But now we have champions like Okoye, for instance, where you just dex once, an opponent can't evade. Like Serpent, activate one special attack, opponent never evades, and more and more of that sort. And every single one of those champions have more potent abilities. Like for instance, with Okoye, I just need to dex once, and then I can play perfectly normally without worrying about anything. So that evade prevention is significantly more potent and easy to use than this. Similarly with Serpent, one level 1, done. Play as normal, don't worry about changing your playstyle or combos. This is good, but there's, plenty of champions with better out there. Same goes for damage. Damage is better, it's by no means top-end damage. And then comes his playstyle, where you have to do a lot to do well with him. And again, back in the day, I was willing to do that because he just fit a lot of requirements. He had the immunity that I needed, he had access to the buffs, to the debuffs for the AQ. Seemed good and seemed worth it. Today, like, I'll just be brutally honest, he's just nowhere near good enough to kind of like warrant catalysts from me. And it pains me to say so, because again, when they announced Thrasher, I love the guy, I used him a ton, and I wished him to be good. He just isn't good anymore. And again, it's a shame that they didn't pick a champion that's closer to the relevance, or that they didn't give him more. So that's where I'm in Thrasher. Thrasher is absolutely joining Sabretooth as a champion that I will absolutely not ever rank up, and I will probably not use him outside of arena, more than likely. There is obviously a conceivable scenario for like Eternity of Pain milestone, if I do happen to have him as 7-star at some point, that I end up using him, but more than likely this was the last time I used Thrasher outside of arena. Or, at the very least, for foreseeable future. So there you go. Another one. Hooper. Let me know what you guys think, and I'm going to catch you guys soon. Bye-bye. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about